Hi, my name is Mark Polton. I'm a real estate investor in the greater Charlotte, North Carolina area. I'm what you would call a no frills, no thrills real estate investor. If you're looking for a guy with a shiny car or a really nice studio office, or even somebody who's trying to sell you a subscription for $19.95 a month to their newsletter, I'm not that guy. Go find another channel. So I wanted to discuss my thoughts on when I first started out in this business of you know treating this as a hobby versus treating this as a business. Uh, Obviously, when you first start out, you don't know what you don't know, and your priorities are obviously going to change as you get more experience and more wisdom. In the beginning, I was worried about things like a website and a domain and forms, making sure that the forms looked right, the application looked right, that um, just these immaterial things uh, that I thought were important to the image of my company, uh, versus looking back what is important now. What I should have been concentrating on was bookkeeping and things like that, but I wasn't. I was preoccupied with immaterial things and an image of a company that nobody will ever see. So the only time anybody ever sees an image of our company is when we're about to rent out a property and the way we advertise. But we don't even have our own website anymore. We do have our own domain. We just kind of gave up on our website. It may still be there. It was on a Google Apps account from many years ago. It may still be there. I don't know. Not something that I update or even think about anymore. So and so if you're going to be in a business, you need to treat it like a business. Hobbies, don't treat it like a hobby. A hobby is something like fishing, right? Hobby is something like model airplane building or something. That's something you can do in your spare time, and you think about it when you think about it. But not this business. You gotta treat it like a business if you want to get the returns of a business. Uh, when I when I first started, I was with my first wife, and I was working on the homes, and I'm not saying that this is the reason we got divorced, but it was a vocalized reason of why she decided to end our marriage is because I was spending all this time working on these homes. So after when we split up and we're going through that process, I didn't really want to deal with it. I was not in a good place mentally, and I just didn't want to deal with one of the things that had contributed to the disillusion of my marriage. And I remember I get in our business mailbox weekly. I get letters, yellow envelope letters, postcards saying, "Hey, I want to buy this house," or "I want to buy that house." And it's almost a joke now when my son and I go to check that, a couple times a month, and I'll be like, "Okay, what homes do you think they're trying to buy now?" And he'll take a guess, and we'll see if he's right. Well, I'd been receiving. I only had three homes at the time. I had been receiving those letters, not too often, but I remember calling one about the house that I'm actually going to go work on now. It's my very first house, and I had seriously considered selling my homes. And I want to tell you, just because I was tired of dealing with the hassle, I can tell you that that would have been one of the biggest mistakes of my life. You know, um, we have over a $10,000 rent roll right now, and that's only with 9 of 12 properties rented. Um, my wife's retirement is within sight. I would have missed out on, you know, I probably would have missed out on financial freedom, but I would have felt better. So, um, you know, but that's because I was treating it like a hobby back then. Had I, and this was 2008, 2009. Can you imagine if I treated this like a business? If I had got my head out of my keister, I probably would have been retired years ago. We could have acquired tens of millions of dollars worth of homes. Knowing what I know now, we definitely would have done that. But it's I don't live with regret about this. I don't want you to get the wrong idea. I was in a bad place. I had to become the person that I am today. and not the shell of a man that I was back then. And I went through a huge journey of personal development and self-reflection and stuff like that. So I wasn't capable back then of doing it. But had I, it's kind of like the old adage: if you could go back to high school, knowing what you know now, would you do it? Um, my answer would be hell yeah. But so it's very, very important to treat your business like a business. It's easy to treat it like a hobby when you have three homes, two homes. You don't have really all that much to do. Um, it's very different. One to two homes is different than three to four, which is different than five to six, which is different than seven to eight. And obviously, with nine homes rented out, and we're rehabbing three more, it you got to up your game. You got to get better skills. You have to have better processes, and you got to figure things out, very, very quickly, just to make sure that you don't alienate your renters and have problems with code enforcement and the law. So, if you're going to get into this business, get into the business. Don't get into this business part time, where you're going to treat it like you would go kart racing or dirt bike riding or something like that. You know, make make sure you treat it like a business. Very easy to do in the beginning. Learn the basic skills that you need, like bookkeeping, accounting, being able to keep track of rents, being able to keep track of mortgage, get a personal financial statement so that you know where you stand with all your assets and all your liabilities. You have plenty of time in the beginning to do that, and then concentrate on getting more properties. So, anyways, I hope you go out there and live the "you won't stop me" lifestyle. I can tell you this: you will not stop me. Financial freedom is just around the corner for my wife and I. We we're looking forward to it. 2019 is going to be a great year, and I wish you success.